If we want to take this a little bit further, we can give it some memory and give it some more prompting. For that, I've prepared this other example just right here, where we can introduce text templates. Also, there's stream messages. So if we go looking for a stream, you're going to find some stream message nodes that would look like this. This can replace the send message. So instead of just getting one big response back all at once, you can actually send on streaming. You can send the stream into the content. So for example, if I say define gold, it will start spewing it out as it's coming up with the answer instead of all in one big chunk. That's really useful if you want to hide the latency of the model and have the conversation feel kind of live. It's kind of fun. Now, a text template is a really interesting and very useful node. These are, between the text template and the generate text, this is the meat and potatoes of Magick. You can do a lot with a text template. As you can see here, I've typed in a long prompt. So this is basically saying you have the following qualities. This is your name. This is your personality. These are your skills. So we can try putting this result into the system. And then that way, whenever I type to it, my message will be its prompt, but its system will be kind of like the information guiding its response to the prompt. So in this case, I can be like, hey, tell me about yourself. And you can see now it's taking its information and sharing a little bit about itself based on what I prompted it to say. Now this can go really far. You can do all sorts of things with text templates, and then you can chain prompts together as well. You can get text templates on top of text templates, as well as variables that mix into it. I'll touch on variables in a moment, but for example, if I wanted to copy this, I get an extra text template. I'll clear this, but maybe I just want the name. And so I will put that here, and maybe I want to change it to Tom. And I will add an input socket on my previous template. You can change what kind of input it's going to be. Strings are words, arrays are lists of words or lists of things, Booleans are yes, no switches, integers are numbers. So if I just want a word, that is the purple node sockets. I will call this name. And then when I enter that, all of a sudden this text template will have a name socket for the input. And then I will take that and put it right here. Now, if I write name inside of these little squigglies, it will input the information it got from this text template into here. Tom. There you go. So now it still has the rest of the prompt, but the name I can change from here. Now, this is not so useful because it's just a text template. If I want to take that name result from somewhere else, it would be easier with a variable. So let me show you what a variable is. If I type in variable, you can see you can get a variable, you can set a variable, you can reset variables. I'm going to get a variable, and we're going to get a variable we've made and put it in here. Now, as you can tell, we haven't made a variable yet. There is a set variable node, and we can touch on how that works in a little bit. But the easiest way to make a variable is simply right here in the variables window. From here, I can make a new variable called name and add it. And now this name is a string, but I can change what kind of variable it is. Is it a string, a float, an array, object, or Boolean? These are the different types. Depending on what I set it to, it will change what it is. To make a variable, go to this variables window and type in the name of the variable I want. So I'm going to call this one name, and we're going to make it. And now we have a new variable, and it's a string, which is again a set of words for those non-coders out there. So from here I can go to get a variable. And in fact, now it even shows get the variable called name. So that shows up here. If I just said variable and I just went variable get, I could from up here change the variable to that name. I could make a new variable. Whoops. I can make a new variable called personality. And I'm going to make a third variable called skills. Now I'm going to clone this twice. So I have 3 variables that I can get the information from. I'll turn 1 into the name, 1 into the personality, and 1 into the skills. Now right now the content of these variables are nothing. So I would have to set it either through a node, or I can just type into it what I want it to be. So for example, let's say I want to change the name now to Kai. And then I'm going to change the personality to the information that I already wrote into this text template. So that's just going to come right here. And then the string that is the skills, I will and then the skills I'm going to pull from here in the text template and move it into the default value of the skills string variable. Now in the text template, all I have to do is in these areas, instead of typing out a whole lot of stuff, I can just put the curly brackets and type in personality. And same with skills. Skills. And that will just refer to whatever variables come in. And as you see, as I'm typing them in, it's literally making those new input sockets in the text template. And I can just string the name, the personality, and the skills into those zones, and it will automatically fill in that information for our prompt. The cool thing about this is that these variables can now be used in other places. I can reset them as part of our conversation chain, or get them again down the line if I wanted to include more nodes later on in this chain. I can include these variables and it would be the same variables, and then I can always just change them from this place